What's up, guys? My name is Javid. I'm from Texas. I'm a CPA in Texas, accountant slash CPA. When most people think about CPA, they think taxes. That is one career path that you can take, but the purpose of this video is actually to show you that there are multiple different paths that you can take, and you can have a very rewarding and challenging career as a CPA. And you can honestly there's so many potential career paths that you can take with this. It's one of the reasons that I chose this field in particular. So with me, I was kind of lost, like a lot of people, when I first went to college, and I was going down the path of what your parents are telling you to do: be a doctor, be a lawyer. And I didn't even know what a CPA. I didn't even know accountants really existed. Like, it's such a undercover job. You know what I mean? Like CPAs and accountants, they kind of work in the background, right? Like, you don't see, you see these large Fortune 500 companies, but you don't see the day-to-day work that goes into keeping them running and keeping them growing and keeping them measuring the results. You don't hear about these things, but there's a whole other world out there that you would be surprised. Most people, they think accountants are bean counters. Like, it's a boring profession, but that could be farther from the truth. If you go down the right career path, if you choose correctly, if you plan it out from the get-go, it can be very rewarding. So for me, it all started when I went to college for the first time, and I was kind of lost. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I had no idea what I wanted to be when I grew up. And when I heard about accounting, this is kind of where I started. I decided to figure this out for myself, and it took a while. But I knew it was something in the business realm. And even though I knew I wanted to major in something business related, accounting was kind of like one of those things it's in your periphery, but sometimes you don't really know what they do or like what the possibilities are. And so the first step was just taking the classes. Like, I took business classes. You obviously have to take accounting, principles of accounting. I took the first principles class, and it surprised me. I enjoyed it. I looked forward to it. I looked forward to doing the homework. It just, the concepts and the logic behind it just really clicked with me. So then I started to dive deep to see what the possibilities are with a degree like this, and that rabbit hole that I went down was just it's exciting. Like, there's so much you can do with it. You can be in a tax accountant, you can be an auditor, you can go work for industry, you can work in any kind of industry, whether you want to be an expert in software. I currently I'm a manager in a software company, accounting manager in a software company. But I started in public, like most CPAs do, and I do recommend that just because it gives you such a vast amount of experience for you to really decide what you want to do. So first thing in school, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. So I narrowed it down to accounting and finance. And one of the things that I realized from my research is that you can get an accounting job, or you can get a finance job with an accounting degree, but you can't get an accounting job with a finance degree usually. And that was kind of all I needed to know. Knowing that getting an accounting degree just opened so many doors to me, and then finding out that once you get a CPA on top of that, that just opens all of the doors. You have so many opportunities at your fingertips. That's what I chose. I chose that, and I went down the typical path. Finished college. After college, during college, got my internship, and did the public accounting thing. Did a lot of research beforehand to see. I had my first job in a small tax firm, and then I did like these small audits for this church headquarters in Texas. And it's just I got my feet wet with a lot of different areas, and I knew I wanted to do audit specifically because the lifestyle just was more appealing to me. Also, the direction that I wanted to go, financial accounting, I mean, that's the way to go, right? So yeah, I dipped my toes in the world, and then I narrowed it down to audit. So then obviously I went into public accounting, went down the audit route, busy seasons, crazy hours, stressful times, gaining weight, losing weight, all of it. I experienced all of it. And yeah, it's been quite the journey. It's been quite the journey. Um, but yeah, it's so yeah, I wanted to make this video to kind of show you all the potential paths that you can go down. In case there's someone out there like me, like it would have been nice to have a video like this back then where, somebody kind of laid out all the potential options that are out there and kind of give me a better idea of the landscape. So to see if I really want to do this, Um, so yeah, started in public. Worked manufacturing clients, worked healthcare, nonprofit, government. I touched so many different industries, and at the end of it, I was pretty sure I knew which direction I wanted to go in, and I did. To begin with, you go down the path of being a senior and working your way up to manager, but eventually you have to make a decision if you want to stay in public forever. Public, if you want to be a partner, if you're if you're a salesperson, if you're good with dealing with clients and selling business, if that's something that you have a skill for. My journey started in audit, and it gave me exposure to so many different industries because when you work in public accounting, at least in the beginning stages, you are exposed to a random assortment of industries. You're essentially helping people on random jobs, different, you may get shipped off to a different office, and you get to see very unique, nuanced accounting, nuanced businesses. Sometimes, it can be a small private company, sometimes it can be a large publicly traded company, sometimes it'll be something in the middle, and you saturate your mind with all these potential career paths. And that's one of the reasons why it's so valuable. They say public is I think it's 2 years in public, or 1 year in public equals 2 years in industry, because the amount of experience that you get and the amount that you learn in that short amount of time, it's crazy. And with that comes a lot of the stress and a lot of the some people get stressed out. There's a lot of hours, obviously. But you do that, and then you kind of have it figured out for the most part. And none of us have it completely figured out. We're still, even now, sometimes I'm like, maybe this other path, so. But yeah, audit was great. I saw so much. I did a little bit of public tax, but it wasn't for me. Some people they love it and they can't imagine going into the financial side of things. So in tax, you could be an individual tax expert, you could be a corporate tax expert, you could be a state tax expert. There's so many different avenues to take in tax as well. But yeah, audit, you're dealing with CFOs, CEOs, you're dealing with C-suite executives all the time. You're learning a lot. You're getting to know these people. Networking wise, it's amazing too. And then once you start to work your way up, once you become a senior in public accounting, then you start to become more niche. What's the word? Niched. You start to become more specialized in your industries that you do. So you may get a handful of clients that you senior, right? So you may be known as the nonprofit guy. You may be known as the government guy or girl. You may be known as the manufacturing person. You may be known as the financial services audit person. So it's an amazing first step to take out of school.